Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Well, hello wherever you are in the world, and welcome to another English Breakthrough video. In this session, we're going to share with you 3 magic keys that will help you become a great conversationalist. Now, I know probably you have tried to learn English conversation, and maybe you took a course in it. And I say you probably tried and didn't do very well. Otherwise, you wouldn't need to watch this video. Chances are very good you've tried different ways to learn English conversation. Probably the worst way, and I guess most of you have done it, is to buy some books and try to memorize the dialogues. Unfortunately, when you actually got out and tried to speak to people, you found out they didn't speak like that. And then you were like, how come they don't speak like the book? Conversation is a natural thing, and it's something we must learn, something we must acquire. Our English teacher maybe have been a very, very good English teacher. They knew everything about English. They knew a lot about English. But chances are very good they didn't know about the science of conversation, how to make conversation, how to engage people in conversation. It's a very special skill. It's a social skill. And it's outside of the realm of a normal English teacher who teaches reading, writing, speaking, and listening. Conversation is not on the list. Or maybe you had an English teacher who you thought spoke really well, and you thought, wow, this teacher's really a good speaker. I want to speak like him or her. But just because the teacher can speak well doesn't mean you can learn from them. Maybe they were not that great a teacher and they couldn't tell you how to do what they do. So in this session, we're going to share with you specific skills from social scientists, from psychology, people who have studied the art and science of conversation. Before we begin, I want to mention conversation is a two-way street, speaking as well as listening. Someone once said that we have 2 ears and 1 mouth. Means we should listen more and speak less. Unfortunately, we forget that. We all want to become great, fluent English speakers. And we forget conversation is a two-way street. Speak a bit, listen a bit. Listen a bit, speak a bit. It goes back and forth. It's like ping pong. The other thing I want to mention to you before we begin, in this session, we're going to be covering 3 magic keys. For the keys to really help you and really work for you, you must practice them. Listening to me again and again and again will not do it. The exercises will sound very, very simple, and they are, but they work. But that's what we mean when we say you must practice the exercise. You must actually do them if you want to get any benefit. The other reason I want to emphasize about learning to be a great speaker, which many of you've set this as your goal. You want to be a great speaker. Please be very careful that you wish for that. You will probably get it. But if you learn to be a great speaker, please learn to control yourself. What do I mean by that? Nobody likes to hear people that just go yak, 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 and talk all the time. That kind of person in English we call blabbermouth. Nobody likes to talk to a blabbermouth. The other term we use in English is motormouth. Motormouth. You can't keep the person quiet. Yak, 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 yak. They will just talk your ears off, and you don't want to talk to a blabbermouth or a motormouth. And I think you know what I'm talking about, because you've met people like that. People that can just talk and talk and talk. And as we say in English, you can't get a word in edgewise. Before we begin our actual sessions, I want you to watch this next session. In this session, we talk about your attitude, what you think about how you learn English. This is even more important than the actual skill and practice of conversation. How you think about how you learn English, what you think about your English language skills is the foundation of conversation. So watch. Many people learn English for years without much improvement. One of the reasons is a poor foundation. They were never shown the basics of how to learn English properly. These nuts and bolts sessions will help you with nailing the basics, valuable ideas and insights to give you an English breakthrough. I've been teaching for over 10 years. In every class that I teach, I ask students to introduce themselves. Then someone always says, "My English is poor," or "Sorry, my English is so bad." So I give them this challenge. When you wake up in the morning, please do this before you do anything else. Go to the mirror and in a loud voice say, "I feel sick. I feel very, very sick. Maybe I need to go to the hospital." Do this for 30 days. I ask if anyone would like to try. Everyone says that it is a stupid idea. If you do that to yourself for 30 days, you will certainly get sick. No one has ever said they would like to do the exercise. So then I ask, so how long have you been saying, "My English is poor," or "Sorry, my English is so bad"? 5 years? 10 years? Longer? If you have been saying this to yourself for a long time, it is impossible. Yes, it is impossible for your English to ever get better. So do this for 30 days. When you wake up in the morning, please do this before you do anything else. Go to the mirror and in a loud voice say, "My English is getting better and better. My English is getting better and better. My English is getting better and better." And never, ever say, "My English is poor," or "Sorry, my English is so bad." When people ask you if you speak English, say, "A little." You can do better, and your English will get better. Okay, one thing you need to learn if you want to be a great conversationalist. First part is, how do you make a good first impression? Here are some tips on how to make a good first impression. Your first impressions are very, very important. There's been a lot of statistical work, a lot of research done in this area. They found that in conversation, the first impression you make on a new acquaintance, 20% is what you say. 20% is what you say. So don't worry about your vocabulary. Your words are not that important. 30% is based on the sound of your voice, the tonality. And 50%, listen to this, 50% is your body language, your expressions, and how you move. 50% is not your words and what you say. So, to learn how to make a good first impression, we're going to teach you how to press. P-R-E-S-S. Press. P. Posture straight. Straighten your posture and you will feel much more energetic and confident. Good posture produces confidence. It automatically makes a person sound more confident. Straighten your posture. That's the P. Relaxed body. Now, as you move, have the good posture, but be relaxed, not stiff. Take a deep breath. Let your arms swing at your sides. Have a relaxed look
It's a little bit hard to explain, but if you practice, you will master this ability. A couple of deep breaths can really help you feel more relaxed. Eye contact. Proper eye contact conveys confidence and acceptance of the other person. A lack of eye contact tends to show distrust and a lack of interest. Now, you don't stare at the other person and make them feel nervous, but you once in a while glance at them to show interest in what they're saying. The eye is the mirror of the soul. Smiling. A smile is very powerful. Studies have shown that smiling can put you in a good mood. Not only that, it makes your conversational contact feel at ease as well. People with a smile are very easy to approach, and people look forward to having conversations with them. Just simply smiling will make a person feel and look warm and friendly, and you will sound friendly, and you will put others in the mood for a good conversation. Speak clearly. If you want to be understood, you must speak clearly. A shy or weak voice will hinder that impression. You want your voice filled with energy and vitality. It must be warm and friendly. When speaking, lean forward slightly. Put some energy into your voice. Be enthusiastic. Pause and pace your words. Doing this will allow people to understand you. PRESS can help you make a good first impression.
In the next session, we're going to show you how to approach people to make a conversation. The first 30 seconds when you meet someone, and how to meet someone that you don't know, and how to introduce yourselves very quickly and with confidence. These skills have been developed from the social sciences, not from the language courses. So it's something really quite different that you're not familiar with. You may want to listen to this part a few times, but we're going to give you some strategies and ideas that will help you walk up to people that you don't know with complete confidence and begin a conversation. So watch this. This is very important. This is part 1, how to approach people to get a conversation started.
In business, there's a rule called the 80-20 rule. 80% of the things that are important come from 20% of your effort. The 80-20% rule applies to many, many things in life. 80% of people are waiting for you to start a conversation, while 20% are the ones that will do something. Go into a cocktail hour. 80% of the people are standing around waiting for the other 20% to start a conversation with them. That's how it applies to conversation. 80-20% rule. Join the elite 20% and you are ahead of the game. Here are 3 magic keys. 3 things you must do the next time you want to start a conversation and join the elite 20%. 3 activities that you can do to become a great conversationalist. 3 simple games. The 30-second game is the first game. When you go somewhere unfamiliar, just do this. Give yourself 30 seconds to go up to someone and start a conversation. 30 seconds so you don't think so much. Just do it. 30 seconds to start a conversation the minute you walk into a room, into a coffee shop, into a restaurant, anywhere that is unfamiliar. Game number 2. Be a new conversationalist. Become the conversationalist you would like to be. Imagine a new you. Find opportunities to try new approaches to become the conversationalist you would like to become. Find a place that maybe you're on a trip in another country where people don't know you. Here's a great way to practice conversation without worrying that you're going to make a fool of yourself, because if you do, nobody cares. This is a great chance to practice conversation when you're sitting next to someone on an airplane, on a bus, on a train, anywhere where you think, hey, I'm just going to say what I want and practice my skills and become the person I want to become as a conversationalist. Forget the old labels you gave yourself. I'm too shy. I don't know what to say. I'm naturally quiet. These are things that we say to ourselves that stop us from becoming the person we want to become, which is a great conversationalist. And number 3, the TNT technique. We say try, no, try again. Try, no, try again. TNT technique is dynamite. The 3-no game. You get 3 chances in every conversation. Only after 3 chances to make the conversation, then you can go somewhere and speak to someone else. So you start a conversation. Hi, how are you doing? Fine. That's the first no. So you say, where do you work in the company? In the HR department. No number 2. Doesn't mean you stop at 2. Go to the third one. So, how long have you worked for the company? Well, actually, I've been working for this company for over 20 years, blah, 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 blah. Now you've got to go. Instead of a no, you've got to go. So you gave yourself 3 chances to make the conversation go somewhere before you left to speak to someone else. 3 practical exercises that you can actually use to improve your conversational skills. Number 1, the 30-second game. You have 30 seconds when you walk into an unfamiliar place to say something to someone that you don't know. Only 30 seconds. Don't think about it. The new you game. Here's where you try to become a new person, the conversationalist you want to become, not the one that you are now. Get rid of the labels that you give yourself. And the 3-no game. Play the 3-no game. No, no, go. No, no, go. And remember, TNT. Try, no, try again.
So now you know the 3 magic keys of how to approach people and make a game out of it, and how to act confidently when you meet someone that you don't know for the first time. So that's the easy part, meeting someone and introducing yourself. But what do you say after hello? We're going to share with you now a secret formula, the magic formula that you can use in any situation to cover yourself in small talk. With a formula, you always will have something to say, and you will sound logical and reasonable, and you will become a great conversationalist with a bit of practice. So here it is, the magic formula for conversation.
Okay, so now you're ready to walk into any unfamiliar place and begin any conversation with anyone. So, what do you say when you get there? This is the next part you need to know. When you were small, you learned math formulas so you could learn and calculate math easily and quickly. You learned formulas for writing. You learned formulas for science. Now, here's a formula for making conversation. It's a very simple formula. FORM. Family, occupation, recreation, and message. Here's how you use it. You begin the conversation with questions about family. And you start with a question like, are you married? How many children do you have? How many brothers and sisters do you have? Then you go to occupation. Occupation, what do you do for a living? How long have you done that for? How did you get into that line of work? What changes have you seen in your industry in the past 10 years? Move along to recreation. This is the area of hobbies and sports. What do you do in your free time? Do you have any hobby or sport? Do you like traveling? Are you the only one in your family who does that? And finally, you get to message. M is for message. So, is your industry hiring at this time? I'd like to talk more. So can we have lunch together next week? Nice meeting you. Hope we can meet again and chat again soon. One final tip when you use the formula. Don't question people machine gun style. So what's your name? What's your occupation? Where do you live? How long have you lived here for? Are you from here? Don't do that. You sound like a policeman. You sound like someone who's a detective asking someone question after question after question. And it sounds like you're practicing conversation. And you don't want people to feel like that. Wait for an answer. And then ask another question based on the answer. If you really want to become great at conversation, just do one more thing. Ask questions 5 levels deep. Ask a question, listen to the answer, and then another question based on the answer. 5 levels deep. So you don't go question 1, question 2, question 3. You go question 1. Question 1A, B, C, D, E. And you will become a much deeper conversationalist. And it looks like you're interested in what the other person is saying. And people like having people who are interested in what they're saying. Last bit of advice. Don't use people as conversational dummies. You heard that. People don't like to be conversational dummies. Okay, I see someone who speaks English. I'm going to go over and practice with them. Don't do that. Be interested in what they are saying, and you will make friends for life.
So there you have it. Now you've got the magic keys. Now you know how to introduce yourself in 30 seconds with confidence. And now you have the magic formula. You know exactly what to say to people. Now it's your turn. It's your turn to get up and go. You've got to go and do the homework. You've got to go out and do it. If you do it, you're going to get some great results. Don't be scared of making mistakes. You're going to make some mistakes the first few times. But I guarantee, after a while, it's going to become very easy. Anything that we learn that is new seems very difficult at the beginning. But with some practice and some steady, constant practice, you will become very, very good at making conversation with anybody in any situation. So try to use these techniques as regularly as you can, daily if possible, and you too will master the art and science of communication and conversation. Until next time, Herbert Lee, bye for now.